one more horsey ride, please.
This living room rodeo moment made possible by Emory Orthopedics and Spine Center. When Dad needed back surgery, he came to Emory. The difference? Advanced research and top surgeons to get it done right the first time. Giddy up.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. With Indeed, everything hiring is all in one place, and it makes it so easy. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences each day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences. The more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join the more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Indeed.com/podcast. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Fancy taking a humorous trip down a random topic each week? You do? Well, you're in luck. Casting Views, presented by me, Dan, and a host of guests, bring you just that. With topics from the world of entertainment, science, sport, and everyday life, there's bound to be a topic that's going to inform and amuse. Catch Casting Views every Sunday on all listening platforms now.
Welcome to Sugar Coated Murder Podcast, a brilliant true crime podcast hosted by two zany sisters, all while baking up delicious treats in their kitchen. Here are your podcast hosts, Karen Devaney and Ann Varner.
Well, sugar, we did it again.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
I know.
Back.
We're back. Leroy's in here. He's laying on his bed.
Oh, Leroy.
So we're figuring out how to record.
Yeah.
In places.
Yeah.
So we're still on the blue couch, which y'all can't imagine what that is, but it's a blue couch that we're on. Not in the kitchen, but that's okay. I baked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baked a recipe.
I had a little, and it was fan-freaking-tastic.
So I'm going to tell you what it is.
Thank you.
It's brown butter bourbon banana bread. And that is all the bees.
I just knew it. All the bees.
All the bees. It's the brown butter bourbon banana. It's really hard to say. brown butter bourbon banana bread.
Yum-malicious.
Yes. So I'll tell you what the recipe says to do.
Okay.
Because I didn't do exactly what the recipe said. So it's like your typical flour, baking soda, baking powder, salt, 8 tablespoons of butter, 3 very ripe bananas, some eggs, some vanilla, some brown sugar, bourbon, buttermilk, and some chopped pecans. It calls for 1 tablespoon of bourbon. What, do you think that sounds like a lot of bourbon to you?
It's not enough.
Doesn't seem like it to me either. And then it tells you to dice 1 banana and smash the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to kind of saute the diced bananas, and you're going to brown your butter, and then you're going to put your bananas in it. And
in the butter?
Yeah, in the butter and the brown sugar.
Oh.
Yes. And then you coat that and everything. Then you let it cool. I didn't think that was enough. So I did 1.5 bananas diced and because it calls for 3. So I did I did
and 1.5 smashed. You split.
And I may have done a very healthy tablespoon of bourbon.
Of course, sometimes it just pours over. I get it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I added a little bit to the butter, the brown butter and the brown sugar kind of situation. I added a splash in there. Mm-hmm. And then I did another generous tablespoon. Whatever. So anyway, you blend it, you fold in your pecans and your caramelized bananas, and then you put it in a loaf pan and you cook it for 55 to 60 minutes. It was pretty easy.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy recipe. It's just that I felt like I needed to boost up that bourbon a little.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
They called it a blonde, bold, boozy bread with brown butter, But no, it's not boozy with 1 tablespoon, guys.
No, it's not.
That's for the whole loaf.
Yeah, I mean, and
I'm thinking 1 tablespoon per slice.
well, yeah, and some of it cooks out.
It does cook out. Yes. And I like that bourbon taste. So I kind of played around with it. But
And where did you find said recipe?
oh, said recipe is on a place. It's in a place on the intrawebs called food52.com.
Food52.com.
So it's food52.com.
I've never even heard of a thing like that.
I hadn't either, but I wanted some good banana bread with bourbon in it. So I put recipe for banana bread with bourbon in it. And
Wow.
that was what came up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. You toast that in the morning with a little pat of butter on it. Your life is starting out fine in the mornings.
Yes.
And then if you wanted to close out your day with another toasted with a scoop of ice cream, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing.
No.
That's my recipe and I'm sticking to it.
That's amazing. Well done. Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
Uh-oh.
That's Piper. She's not even in the room with us. That's how loud she is.
Oh, pipes.
I know.
All right. Well, I got a murder to talk about. This
Okay.
one is crazy. Excuse me. When I was looking up a couple weeks ago, we were doing our current events. This one popped up. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's not where this one came from. It's not. It's not where this one came from. Listen to what I'm going to tell you.
I'm quite confused,
This
so I'm
actually
tuning
came
in.
from a fan. A fan suggested this.
Can
Our
we call
friend
them a
Dean.
listener?
A listener.
Fan sounds so like we're something.
No, we're not something.
We're nothing.
Yeah, and people who know us know that we don't think we're anything but nothing.
Yeah, so let's call him listener.
Okay, yeah, listener Dean suggested
Dean.
this. Yes,
Dean, the listening machine.
Yes, that's how we'll always think of him now.
Every time I
That's it.
say his name, I'm going to say it in full.
Yeah.
Dean, the listening machine.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
this goes out to you, Dean, the listening machine.
thanks for all the compliments and
Dean,
for
the listening
listening.
machine.
This is a doozy. This was a doozy. that
Not
he
a
sent.
doozy.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy. It takes place in Canada.
Oh, Canada. It's been so long since we sang that. That really felt so good.
It does. It does.
Gosh.
Well, this is bad news. On July 30th, 2008, Tim McLean caught a Greyhound bus heading to Winnipeg. At 22, Tim was making his way in the world as a carnival barker.
Making my way downtown, I don't know, a carnival barker.
Yeah, he was a barker.
I feel like that's Leroy's job.
No, he's the guy at the circus that would stand outside the tents and call out to passersby and encourage them to come in and see the show.
That is a great career to aspire to.
Yeah, you know the guy, he's like, step right up and come see our snake man.
A bearded snake.
Lady. Right this way.
Right this
folks.
way. Step right up.
Exactly.
You've never seen this before. It's one of a kind. Don't be
Do
scared.
not be scared because there's a half snake, half man in this tent. You're going to want to see this show.
Yeah.
No.
Uh-uh.
He gets on the bus and he's tired. You know, he's headed home. He's been working and he's kind of ready to get out of the whole circus business and his other jobs that he does that he keeps him closer to home.
Okay.
Yeah. He gets on the bus and he actually takes a seat all the way in the back, like the row right in front of the bathroom.
Ooh, I don't like that row.
Puts on his headphones
Yeah.
and just kind of dozes off to sleep.
Okay.
Down the road, the Greyhound bus goes.
The wheels on the bus go round. Okay, sorry.
It's that the bus is actually traveling on the trans. Oh, I wish I could have written that right. It doesn't really matter. They were in Canada.
Maybe it's Transhound instead of Greyhound.
No, trans something highway.
The Transatlantic?
No, I really wish I could remember.
The Trans Nova Scotia?
Something with a P, maybe.
Trans-Pacific?
Doesn't look like it. Maybe it'll come up again and I'll...
Trans-Palisades? Trans-Parade?
Maybe. Could be any of those.
Pam.
Could be any of those. Could be. And I'm sure people from Canada are screaming at
Oh,
me
they're
now.
like, you
Idiots.
dumbasses.
Oh,
Oi.
come on. Oi. It doesn't really matter. He was on a Greyhound bus. They were traveling.
Yeah.
He was relaxing, headphones on, asleep. He's going home to see his family, and around 6:55, another passenger got on the Greyhound bus. His name is Vincent Lee.
Vincent Lee.
Vincent Lee, L-I, Lee.
Okay.
I mean, you could say Lie if you want, but...
I could say it, but I feel like it's Lee. So it seems like I would call him Vincent Lee.
Vincent Lee.
Like if it was an adverb.
Oh, right. That's a good one, Vincent Lee. So as the bus departs the stop, Vincent takes a seat at the front of the bus.
Okay.
Then they come to like a little rest area. He gets off the bus. He has a cigarette. He gets back on the bus. And then he decides to go take a seat all the way in the back next to Tim. There's 35 passengers on the bus, by the way. So he passes all of the seats, which to me is not a very full bus.
I don't know. I can't get
You
a count.
You don't remember when we traveled on the Greyhound
Oh my
bus?
God, that was
Felt like there were 1,000 people on that bus.
Yeah, and we definitely were the youngest.
We were definitely the youngest.
And we were unaccompanied.
Unaccompanied minors.
Yes,
Absolutely. From Franklin to South Hill, y'all.
Didn't even go to South Hill, went to Carsville.
Oh, Carsville. That's right. Carsville.
Carsville.
All right. So Vincent takes a seat next to Tim. Tim barely acknowledges him. He's like, and then he
goes to sleep,
falls back to sleep. And the bus takes off down the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nighttime. And all of a sudden, this blood-curdling scream rings out. And the passengers all look to the back of the bus. And there they see Vincent Lee with a ginormous, Rambo-sized knife stabbing Tim repeatedly in the throat. And Tim is trying to fight him off and
get him into Vincent Lee.
Vincent Lee has lost his marbles.
Gee whiz.
And even though Tim tries, and he's young, he's like a nice young strapping man, and he's not winning that battle.
I know.
And the passengers are screaming, and the bus driver is trying to pull over to stop the bus and see what the hell.
Yeah.
And the next thing they know, freaking Vincent cuts off Tim's head.
No.
And holds it up for the passengers.
No. Oh my God, that is
the bus is pulled over. The bus driver opens the doors and everybody runs off the bus, but they've already seen it.
Yeah.
And as they're running off the bus, Vincent Lee is continually chopping off pieces of Tim's body and eating his flesh.
Not eating it.
He's eating it.
No, he's not.
He's like a freaking animal.
What is happening with Vincent? Like, what was in that cigarette he smoked?
I don't know. I just do not know. I do not know.
What the hell?
I know.
This is terrifying.
For those who embrace the impossible, the Defender 110 is up for the adventure. This iconic vehicle has been redefined with a modern design that lets you go further and do more. The exterior is reimagined with compelling proportions and precise detailing, complemented by an interior built with integrity. The Defender capability is legendary. Whether you're facing off-road challenges or harsh weather conditions, its durability has been tested to the extreme. Powerful innovations like the intuitive driver display and award-winning infotainment system keep you connected. Innovative camera technologies deliver unobstructed views and effortless maneuvering. And robust cargo capacity means more room for your gear. Ready for a wide range of adventures, the Defender family features the two-door Defender 90, the Defender 110, and the Defender 130, which seats up to 8. To drive the Defender is to explore with greater confidence. Push what's possible with a vehicle made to go further. The Defender 110. Learn more at LandRoverUSA.com/Defender.
Yeah, so it's wild and crazy. The bus driver, everybody's off the bus. Passengers did try to save Tim, but they could not get to him.
You can't. If the guy is like wielding a huge knife, what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. They tried, but they couldn't. So then they got off the bus and they held the doors closed so that Vincent Lee couldn't get off the bus.
Oh, gosh.
Right? Can you imagine?
Ugh.
He's pacing back and forth, and he hops in the driver's seat,
No,
turns on the bus, and starts taking off.
He leaves?
Well, in Canada, they have these remote immobilizers on their buses.
Yeah.
And the bus driver hits the button and the bus stops and won't go. Yeah. So then they run up. By now, a truck driver has pulled over and he's helping them he's giving them a crowbar to help keep the doors closed so that Vincent Lee can't get off the bus. They've called the police. The police are coming, but Vincent is like holding Tim's head back and forth on the bus. And, all the passengers are off. Some of them are screaming. They're in shock. Some of them are throwing up.
Yeah.
It is like total chaos on the side.
I'd be like sitting in the grass just rocking.
Oh, yeah.
I'd put my back to the bus and I would just sit there and rock like nothing's wrong. It's all good.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah. It's just a hot freaking
Oh my
mess.
gosh, this is awful.
At about 8:30, just an hour and a half after Vincent had gotten onto the bus, the Royal Mounted Police were notified that there had been a stabbing on a Greyhound bus. When they arrived, they saw the passengers in huddles, some crying, some sick, some in shock.
One sitting in the grass
rocking back and forth. By 9 o'clock, the police and Vincent were in a standoff.
Vincent Lee.
Vincent Lee was still on the bus, pacing back and forth, and he continued to mutilate and eat Tim's body. I don't know what to tell you. It was crazy. What he was doing was insane.
This is just awful.
Right. At 1:30 in the morning,
No.
Vincent tried to escape through a bus window.
I was afraid of that.
But police tased him, and they caught him.
Okay.
And they cuffed him, and they took him into custody.
Oh, dear God.
The other passengers from the bus were taken to a holding area away from that Greyhound bus.
I would never get on another one.
And it is said that Greyhound did take all of the passengers to a store and let them buy clothes to replace the clothes that they had on the bus.
Okay.
So,
I see what you're saying. Like their luggage was on the bus. They had their things.
Yes, all their items.
Gee whiz.
Once at the police station, they actually go to pat Vincent Lee down and they find Tim's tongue, nose, and an ear.
You've got to stop
pocket.
it. No.
In his pants pocket.
No.
And this isn't made up. They're pictures. It's real.
There's pictures
There's pictures.
of his tongue?
I didn't
in
see
his pocket?
pictures like that, but they're pictures of the bus, the police outside the bus, the guy inside the bus.
What?
They're
Can you tell me
pictures.
what year this was?
2008.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't like way back.
Yeah.
2008. That's not that long ago, people. Yeah. They could never find Tim's eyes, and there was a part of his heart missing, so they're
I feel like
100%
they were
sure that
ingested.
they were eaten. Right. 5 months after Tim's brutal murder, his girlfriend gave birth to his baby boy.
Oh my gosh.
He'll be
that's
15 this year.
Stop.
I know. After Vincent Lee was arrested and taken to jail, his trial started on March 3rd, 2009.
Okay. Well, that was quick.
He pled not criminally responsible, meaning he accepted that the crimes happened. However, he was mentally unstable and was not responsible for the killing.
I'm having a hard time with this.
A psychiatrist testified that he had diagnosed Vincent Lee with schizophrenia while he was in custody and awaiting trial. According to the psychiatrist, Vincent Lee was hearing voices and thought that God himself had told Vincent Lee that Tim was evil and that Vincent Lee had to kill him because Tim was about to kill Vincent Lee.
That is, God did not say that, Vincent Lee.
After hearing all of the testimony,
Tim was a good guy. He was not a bad guy, and he didn't even know who Vincent Lee was.
He was just a 22-year-old.
He's just trying to get home
to his girlfriend who was going to have a baby.
Yeah, and he put his headphones on because he didn't want to hear people go tinkle in the bathroom.
No, and he was tired of the people.
And he was tired.
Tired of the people.
He had been doing the people stuff while he was barking at the carnival.
After hearing all of the testimony, the judge ruled that Vincent Lee was not criminally responsible for the murder and cannibalism of Tim McLean. Vincent Lee was remanded to Selkirk Mental Health Center. In June of 2010, Vincent Lee was given permission to take supervised outdoor walks on the grounds of the facility. In 2016, Vincent Lee was given permission to leave the facility unsupervised.
What is happening in Canada?
With temporary
passes.
passes.
Canada, what is going on? No.
In 2017, Vincent Lee decided he'd change his name to Will Lee Baker.
Will Lee.
Will Lee. Right, Willie. We'll call him Willie.
How about Willie?
Willie. And he was given an absolute discharge with no restrictions.
This is how many years?
It happened in 2008. He went to trial in 2009. By 2017, he had changed his name and gotten an absolute discharge.
He wasn't even in there 10 years.
Correct. And he literally walked out of the facility with no restrictions. He didn't have to check in, nothing.
No, he was just like, I'm now Willie.
I'm Willie and I'm good to go.
And I'm just going to be a whole citizen out here.
Yep. The doctors felt that he was no longer a threat to society. It went before a board. The board agreed, and out he went. Willie Baker was released from the facility and was free to go live his life.
And he's just out there living his life.
And they said, as long as he's taking his medicine, everybody's safe.
But who's monitoring his medicine?
They don't care. Tim's mom, Carol, has been to the State House in Canada. She has attempted to get the laws changed, making mental patients criminally responsible.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I did this and I was schizophrenic at the time. But then to me, you still have to serve a sentence. You just serve it in the mental health facility because you still did it.
Yeah. She and a lot of Canadians feel like that once the mental term is up, that the criminal side of it should then kick in and the person should go to jail.
Yes.
It just
because
so
he can take his medicine in jail.
Vincent/Bill is free as a bird, but Tim is still dead.
He is.
Many of the passengers on that bus have filed lawsuits against Greyhound and the law officials. The only Greyhound.
Why are they suing Greyhound? The Greyhound didn't know.
Greyhound.
There's no check. There's no buy a ticket. Where are you going to go? And should you be on schizophrenic medication?
I don't know. I didn't read the documents for what their lawsuits said.
I can't imagine.
A lot of them withdrew. Tim's mom and dad, I believe, still have a lawsuit pending with Greyhound. So Tim's girlfriend evidently lost her marbles as well and was not a good parent. Tim's mom adopted him, and now the son lives with Carol.
Okay.
She has him in the care of a psychologist right now to deal with the information that continues to trickle out about his father's brutal death. Which is terrible. And the man that murdered him is living just
living. He's just out living life.
Just up the road.
That's not okay.
Isn't that insane?
I don't like
the craziest story
I don't like
ever?
anything about that story.
No, it was awful. It was just awful.
There's not even closure to that story.
There's no closure because he never went to jail.
No.
And I remember, I can't remember if we've had any updates lately about it, but about that kid in Florida, remember? Same kind of situation.
Yeah, but I know that they were supposed to do his trial, but I can't find anything about it. I think he ended up, you know what? I don't know. It's very confusing information.
We'll have to look and see if there's any.
Because I check on that every once in a while.
And the laws in the United States are very, very different. Very different.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What are you actually talking about here? Are you telling me this man walked out of that mental facility?
So my thing is, I think Carol should be able to sue Willie for at least for wrongful death. And maybe it's not jail time, but at least get some type of punishment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even like the way that Who's What's Its parents sued OJ.
Ron, like a civil case.
Like a civil case.
But I don't know if they do that in Canada or not.
I don't either, Canada.
I don't know. They must not, because it sounds like they've done everything they can think of to do legally.
They gotta change the laws.
Yeah. And see, I guess I do kind of get the Greyhound bus thing, because if there was an accident on the Greyhound bus or whatever, even if it wasn't the Greyhound bus driver's thing, you still would think that their insurance would kick in and cover it, but it doesn't cover this type of
I don't know if there's a decapitation clause in the...
There should be.
Well, maybe there should be.
We'll cover you if you get decapitated.
Well, we'll cover any passengers that are on a Greyhound whilst a decapitation happens. And cannibalism. We cover all cannibalism on the Greyhound.
Yeah. Definitely. And then there was some information, a little bit of information about some interactions that Vincent Lee had with police before getting on the bus. Evidently, he just one day up and left his wife and went to a bus station. He sold a computer to some dude for $60, bought himself a Greyhound ticket to wherever he was going. But he stayed up all night and he sat like straight up, and his behavior was obviously off, and nobody prevented him from getting on the bus. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right?
Yeah, I mean, please. You would never think.
Exactly.
Like, that's a big leap to be like,
leap.
oh, he's going to murder some people on that bus. We should. Yeah.
So we won't post pictures of Vincent.
No, let's don't.
But we will put a picture up of Tim because he was cute.
Oh my gosh,
very
poor
handsome.
Tim.
I know, 22. Never got to meet his son. Never got to really live life.
No, that is really tragic.
Very
I
tragic.
just feel so bad for him.
I do too.
That's awful.
I know.
And his poor parents.
Come on, Canada.
Come on, Canada. Get it together over there.
Get it together.
Get it together. I can't go into Canada until they get it together.
No.
I'm going to need them to get it together.
Yeah. What are you going to do about this?
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah.
Because I need something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everybody around there is just holding their breath, praying that Willie decides to take his meds every day.
Yeah, for sure. Lord have mercy. Well, I have an update on something that we talked about when we did our current events.
Oh.
Remember I told you that Corey Richens, who is the wife of the guy that died of fentanyl poisoning, and she wrote the book.
Oh, right. That's
she was going to go in and ask for bail because they had denied her bail, and then she wanted to bail.
Yeah.
This is the crazy thing. This was a hearing that I've never, I thought it was just a typical bail hearing, but they actually talked about some of the evidence against her, and they had some people testify at this hearing.
Really?
Which is really crazy.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Or reasons to not.
She was denied.
Good.
Today. She was denied.
Thank goodness.
I think she's got some kind of a hearing. It's another preliminary hearing of something, like maybe on the 29th or something of June. I don't know if I got that right, but sometime coming up. But she was denied. But some of the stuff they were talking about, I was just like, what the hell are you thinking? Like, why? Evidently, OD on fentanyl. Well, she's trying to say that it was an accidental overdose on her husband's part. And of course, she tried to say that he was a drug addict, which all of his friends have come out and said he's never done drugs. And there was nothing in his background to indicate that he had done drugs. And, they can do that hair follicle test.
Oh, right.
Like, there's nothing that they have found that he's a habitual drug user.
Right.
But the prosecuting attorney brought up a really good point, and he was like, well, I can understand a guy accidentally overdosing on fentanyl, like maybe taking 2 pills too many, like you get your dosage just wrong.
Right, yeah.
He was like, this is like 20 pills too many.
Oh my God.
This is not the same.
I accidentally swallowed 20.
Exactly.
As opposed to just the one.
Yeah.
God.
And then they seized her phone, and they have found all sorts of incriminating evidence against her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So one of the things that she has Googled is she wants to know where all the, what did she call them? Country club prisons for the rich are. I guess she thinks that's where she's going.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Well, let's just do one thing real quick.
Okay.
Pull up your phone and open Google.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's happening.
Hey, Google.
Hey, Google. All right, you got it?
Uh-huh.
And where it says search or type web address, click it. Does a list come up of everything you've been?
No.
Why not? Stupid Apple phone.
That's why it's Apple phone. Because I don't use Google. The last thing that I have is ice cream near me.
Oh, there you go.
The other one is water test for bad eggs, and another word for tempo, because I was doing a crossword.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
but first of all, when I do research for my murder cases, I don't use my phone. I use
the computer.
But also I use Safari. We have, like on Apple, you have Safari as a search engine too.
Right.
And that's what I use. And so when I bring up Safari and I hit that, nothing comes up. It just says scan text.
Oh.
They're going to have to do a little bit more research than just.
Yeah, with the droid, we're just going to put it right out there.
Yeah.
Putting it out there
You're
right
just gonna
now.
put it right out there.
That's funny.
So anyway, I wanted to give you an update on Corey Richens.
Yeah, she's psycho.
She truly is.
Psycho.
She truly is. She's really dumb. She's like
Listen,
a dumb
if I had bought
psycho.
that children's book, I'd be taking it back to the store to get my money back.
I'd be sending it right
This
back
was
to
written by a
Amazon
killer.
and saying, I'm not having this.
No, I cannot support the killer.
No, that's a book to burn.
It is, and I would expect if somebody went out and bought our book and found out we were killers, I would expect them to do the same.
I do too. And also, the really creepy part is image on the front of the dad up in heaven is very, very similar to his image.
Oh, man.
Like, she's just gross.
Yeah, that's terrible.
She's very gross. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thanks.
Well, look at us. We did another one.
Another one in the books.
Green check mark all the way.
I mean, it's going to be like several weeks in a row.
Yeah, tell your friends.
What are you going to tell them?
Tell your friends that we're recording and they should listen.
Sugar-coated murder's back, y'all.
Yeah, let everybody know.
Get up in there.
Yeah, because I have a feeling we have people drop off maybe.
I don't know. Our numbers are awfully good.
Our numbers are confusing. They're very confusing to me.
They're good. So let's just ride that.
Yeah.
See what happens.
If y'all don't know, we wrote a book. If you haven't read it, what the hell's wrong with you?
Exactly.
Please buy a copy, read it, enjoy it. You can hear our voices when you read it. That's what I've been told. And for everybody that has bought one and supported us, we really appreciate it.
And if you're like a producer or some big movie executive out there and you feel like you want to turn it into something, call us. We're open.
Well, don't call because our numbers are not listed, but you could email us because we have email.
Yes.
What is that address?
murder.sugarcoated@gmail.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
And where you can follow us on all of our social media. We've got Twitter, where we're at Sugar Murder. We've got Instagram, we're at Sugarcoated Murder. And then Facebook, you just type in Sugarcoated Murder Podcast and you'll find us.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you wanted to do an after school special about what not to do in high school.
Yeah.
If you wanted to turn it into some weird, Lifetime movie or a horror movie. Hallmark. We can go horror or Hallmark.
Yeah. We'll do, any kind of episodes on any of the murder shows or, if you wanted us to just start a murder talk show, we're here for you.
Whatever you need us to do.
Whatever you need.
Yeah.
We're here to cover it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
We cover things.
We do. Okay, guys. Love ya. Stay sweet. Don't murder.
Because if you kill people,
we're going to talk about you.
And we will not stop.
No, but in the meantime, go make some brown butter.
This has been Sugar Coated Murder Podcast.
Bye, y'all.
A deliciously entertaining true crime podcast. Like what you heard? You can always explore past episodes by visiting sugarcoatedpod.com. Don't forget to like our Facebook fan page and share with friends. Thanks for listening to Sugar Coated Murder Podcast.
This is your invitation to a masterclass in engineering and design. Experience the exhilaration of the Lexus Performance line and some of the best offers of the year on select models at the Invitation to Lexus sales event, now through April 1st.
Get $2,000 cash toward the lease of a 2024 ES350.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Call 1-800-USA-LEXUS for important lease cash offer and pricing details. Restrictions apply. Not all customers will qualify. Offer available in the Lexus Southern area and ends April 1st, 2024.
You know when you're listening to a true crime story that has an unbelievable plot twist that makes you stop in your tracks? That's what our podcast, People Are the Worst, brings you with each episode. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rebecca. We're identical twins who love true crime cases that make you say, didn't see that coming, and we hate the people responsible for them. Listen to People Are the Worst now on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.